June 7th, 1992, three women arrive home after a long night celebrating a high school graduation. They should have been asleep within minutes. Instead, by sunrise, every one of them is gone. No signs of forced entry, no struggle, no ransom note. Their purses remain inside the house. Their cars are still parked in the driveway. Even the family dog has been left behind. It's as if the three women simply vanished. More than 3 decades later, no one has ever been charged. No bodies have ever been found, and one question continues to haunt investigators. How can 3 adults disappear from a suburban home without leaving a single clear clue? Tonight on LastKnown, we investigate one of America's most baffling unsolved disappearances, the Springfield 3. Welcome back to LastKnown. On this channel, we uncover real mysteries, chilling disappearances, and criminal investigations that continue to puzzle detectives decades later. Some cases leave behind blood, some leave behind witnesses, others leave behind a trail investigators can follow. But this case left almost nothing, just an ordinary home in Springfield, Missouri, frozen in time, and 3 women who seemingly vanished into thin air. The deeper investigators looked, the stranger the mystery became. Springfield, Missouri, a peaceful Midwestern city. On June 6, 1992, graduation celebrations filled the town. Among the graduates was 18-year-old Stacy McCall. She and her close friend Suzie Streeter spent the evening attending graduation parties with friends. Like many teenagers, their plans changed throughout the night. Eventually, they decided to spend the night at Suzie's home on East Delmar Street. Waiting there was Suzie's mother, 47-year-old Sherrill Levitt. Friends described Sherrill as caring, independent, and excited to have her daughter home after graduation festivities. Sometime after 2 a.m., Suzie and Stacy arrived at the house. Witnesses later confirmed they safely reached the residence. It would be the last confirmed sighting of all 3 women. The next morning, friends stopped by the house expecting to pick them up for a planned trip to a water park. Instead, they found something deeply unsettling. The front door was unlocked. Inside, everything looked normal. The television was on. Personal belongings were scattered throughout the home. 3 purses sat neatly together. Car keys remained inside. Even cigarettes, makeup, and clothing had been left behind. Outside, all 3 vehicles were still parked exactly where they should have been. The family dog wandered the house unharmed, as if waiting for its owners to return. But the women were nowhere to be found. Had they left willingly, or had someone managed to remove 3 people from the house without anyone noticing? At first, friends assumed the women had stepped out. Some even cleaned up broken glass near the front porch before realizing they might be disturbing a potential crime scene. That decision would later concern investigators. When family members became unable to contact any of the women, police were finally called. Detectives immediately recognized something wasn't right. 3 women gone, without their cars, without money, without telling anyone where they were going. Nothing suggested they had planned to leave. The house showed no obvious signs of a violent struggle. No overturned furniture, no blood, no forced entry. Investigators began interviewing neighbors. Some reported hearing unusual noises during the night. Others remembered seeing unfamiliar vehicles in the area, but none of the accounts produced a clear suspect. As news spread, volunteers searched fields, wooded areas, abandoned buildings, and nearby lakes. Hundreds of tips poured in. Each one seemed promising. Each one eventually reached a dead end. Then investigators uncovered another unsettling detail. Someone had apparently answered the home's telephone after the women disappeared. According to reports, several strange calls were received in the days following the disappearance. The caller reportedly made disturbing remarks before hanging up. Unfortunately, before law enforcement could trace the calls, they stopped. Who was calling? Was it a cruel prank or someone connected to the disappearances? With every passing day, the chances of finding the women alive grew smaller. Yet investigators still had no clear suspect, no confirmed motive, and almost no physical evidence. Then, rumors began to spread. Witnesses came forward with possible sightings. Anonymous tips pointed detectives in entirely new directions. And one theory would capture national attention. But did it finally bring investigators closer to the truth, or lead them even farther away? In part 2 of this investigation, we'll examine the mysterious sightings, the strongest theories, and why. More than 30 years later, the Springfield 3 remain one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. If you're enjoying this investigation, subscribe to LastKnown and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 2. Because sometimes, the most terrifying mysteries are the ones that never end.